I generally tell AJ that I wish we were recording about 90 seconds before he actually hits record. Now we are recording. This is the Shall We Football podcast. On this show, we talk football and only football, so help us God. NFL action news at 6, Unsolved NFL offseason mysteries with Erick Hellwig. This is season 2, episode 17. It's season 2 because season 1 was the regular season. Coming up, we do have Erick Hellwig. Welcome, joining us to help solve those unsolved NFL offseason mysteries. Try to sound like Keith Morrison. It didn't work out. He is an actor, comedian, writer, podcaster. His podcast is Bring in the Backups on Twitter at BackupsPod, celebrating backup NFL quarterbacks with his guest comedians. We do love backup quarterbacks on this show as well. He is a chauffeur to Joe Rogan's Spawn. We need to hear that story as well. Erick died in March of 2019, so condolences. Now lives on the Twitters as at Death Lives TV. He appeared on America's Got Talent, Brain Games, and The Greatest Party Story. My Zoom thing. Oh, yeah. Greatest Party Story Ever. He was also featured on Nat Geo, Comedy Central, MTV Other, and national commercials. He wrote for Money from Strangers on MTV, performed at clubs and festivals like Big Pine, Westside, Oak City, Snow Jam, Aloha Comedy, and others. Erick, Shall We Football, welcome. We do have a whole second slide because your career is so illustrious. He's host of the slide, Erick. Oh, half a slide, excuse me. Host of the weekly show Barely Making It in LA. That's at BMILA Show on the twitters.com. Find him in Joe Rogan's car and on Twitter at Erick Hellwig with 2 L's, like the place. Head to Linktree/Erick Hellwig for links to his YouTube channel, Instagram, podcast, website, newsletter, stand updates, Patreon, and merch store. As Joe Schlappo regret teaching Erick to do comedy. So give him money, please. And then give us all the money.
Give us money.
Well. Yes. Future biography title is I Enjoy Not Reading, Gaining Weight, and Calling People Sheep. Erick's bride is the very funny comedian, writer, actor Liz Galalis, who reads dystopian novels for self-help tips. Love that. Find her at Liz Galalis on the twitters.com.
You can also find her in the back of my Zoom call right there.
Say hello, Liz.
You can do her mail. Hello, she can't hear you, but
okay.
You pass it on.
Yeah. Erick does attempt the pronunciation game at the end of our show, as all of our guests do. We will also present the McCorkle Award for episode MVP, named weekly for our beautiful, sweet prince, Mac Jones. We all hate the Patriots, but now we have to be Patriots fans, thanks to the 15th overall selection in the 2021 NFL draft. This is how we do things here, Erick. We are not here to make friends. Human decency and puns are not tolerated. Name calling is required. Do not wait until people are done talking to voice your opinions. I always wait for somebody to interrupt when I read that rule. Duels will settle any remaining disagreements after the show. We must have a virtual slap of a white glove across the face. Keep it brisk. We're all under the constant threat of diarrhea. No rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse. Please forward any questions to Waste Disposal Services, 69 Nice Avenue, Apex, North Carolina, 26683. It is 6-9 day, by the way, gentlemen. It is June the 6th.
Oh, Papa
June
Plus.
the 9th. Yeah. Happy 69. So, gentlemen, shall we football?
Yeah. What the fuck not?
Let's do it.
We shall. AJ has news.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No.
So there's some rumors swirling about Deshaun Watson. Houston will be the sea of backup quarterbacks. Erick, are you up to date on the current Texans situation at backup?
Yeah, he's been sued by 85,000 people.
Yep.
He seems to have a little bit of an MO, we might say, which is finding hot masseuses on Instagram.
And sliding into the DMs.
It's always like once it always hits that number. It's like the Cosby effect where you're like, hey, it's only one lady. Oh, now it's 4. And then like you're like the next day you wake up, it's 38. Yeah, like it's always like 22. It hits that like it's like a snowball. It's like once 3 people have said something, you know there's just so many more coming, like over the hill, like a World War Z movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
for the record, everyone listening, This slide says Deshaun Watson at the top, and it says nope in the middle. And our beloved guest and my wonderful co-host are just whizzing right by that with a ton of commentary. I have been usurped.
I have not read a script in my entire life. An avalanche of sexual assault cases coming to Deshaun Watson.
No, let's all take a break from our hilarious diatribe. AJ, talk about your shitty slide for a little bit. No, really put a break on the show.
He worked really hard on that slide, as you can tell.
Yeah,
a lot of effort.
Is the nope because like you guys live in North Carolina and they were talking about trading him to the Panthers? Is that what that nope is?
Man, we wish that was the case.
Yeah, no, I did. I bet people that he would be in a Carolina Panthers uniform.
And none of us.
Thank God I'm not a man of my word.
None of us are Panther fans. Colt's a Saints fan. AJ's a Steelers fan. I'm a Colts and Titans fan. I'm divided on the inside.
Colts and Titans, get off the fence. What?
So I was born in Middle Tennessee, and then I moved. I worked in Southern Indiana and actually covered the Colts for like 6 years. So I have vested interests in both.
Well, here's the question, Ryan. Do you have a good relationship with your father?
Yeah, he's a pastor, actually. We saw the Lord together.
Well, what's his favorite team?
He doesn't really have a favorite football team. Okay, he just likes the game.
See, this is what happens when you don't have a father to imprint upon you the sports. See, I have every reason to. I mean, I lived in Louisiana. I could like the Saints. I lived in South Carolina when the Panthers came, so I could have rooted for the Panthers because I went to a game when I was a kid. I lived in Jersey, Virginia. All my family's Redskins fans. But my father, we were military. The football, yeah, not the slur, the team. But we were a military family, so I was moving around a bunch. But my father's from Philly, and he was like, "You will like the Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, period." And like he gave that to me. I was 4 years old living in Germany. And I'm still dressed as Randall Cunningham. I don't even know how he must have had that shipped over from America, but he did an amazing job of not making it. I didn't have to find a journey to sort through what my team would be. I've got secondary teams that I root for. Like I do root for the Saints a lot because I was down there. Like the Kansas City Royals, because I spent some time in Kansas City. I like the Nets a lot as well, but Philly teams take the cake because my father was like, this is what it's going to be. And this is the only, and he said when I was a kid, he was like, when you're 25, this is the only thing we'll agree on. Is the Eagles. Everything else will be a fight.
Was he correct?
Oh my God. My father my father is a very strong-willed military man who spent his life in service to the country. And I get on stage and tell dick jokes and make fun of him. So yeah, we've had some clashes. I think it's
now that you're 25.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way. Yeah, it's kind of the same way. I'm a Titans fan at heart. I have a vested interest in the Colts. Okay, so no more Deshaun Watson then.
Deshaun Watson. Thank you for everyone's insight on Deshaun Watson. That was delightful.
What is there to say? The dude's got a problem.
Well, I was hoping there would be nothing to say, but clearly we all had shit to say.
The dude's got a problem. He's gonna get some help. Some ladies are gonna make a lot of money for their pain.
And then he will play football again.
And the NFL will not. The NFL will not give a shit.
Yeah, he'll be taking a Duncan to Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill in no time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he can play. Aaron Rodgers time. I do love this discussion. No first-round offensive skill position player drafted in the Aaron Rodgers era, which is startling to me. His seeming replacement was Jordan Love in last year's draft at pick 26 overall, I believe. They traded up to get him. Not great. In 2020, the first offensive skill position player taken in the first 2 rounds in A.J. Dillon, and then Devontae Adams in 2014. Yikes. Defensive yards ranks 9th, 15th, 18th, 26th, 21st. All of those numbers are bad except the one that says 2. There's no restructure after his MVP season last year. Is that no dates that Aaron Rodgers getting?
Yeah, the
Because he's an
Packers didn't go on
engaged
any
man.
dates. Yeah, the Packers didn't go on any.
Aaron Rodgers has had a slew of celebrity love interests,
He went on a
including
lot of dates.
Tulsa, Oklahoma native Olivia Munn. Danica Patrick loves to go fast and quickly out of Aaron Rodgers' life, and Shailene Woodley, who he is now engaged to. 9 Pro Bowls, 12 seasons, 5 conference championships, 10 playoff appearances, 1 Super Bowl win, and a lot of State Farm commercials. Also has lots of friends that like to get punched in the face in bars in Hawaii. Miles Teller.
Poor Miles Teller.
All right,
Our
boys.
thoughts.
Who's got? I mean, I'll say this: Shailene Woodley is fucking beautiful.
I will agree with that.
She is a real babe.
Did you catch Miles Teller's Lovely Bride?
No. Who's Miles Teller?
The dude that got punched with Aaron Rodgers is all I know.
Miles Teller got punched
in the face in a bar because he didn't pay like a wedding coordinator or something.
And he's just like a dude.
No, he's an actor.
Oh, what's he in?
Like he's in things. I just don't know what he's in.
You know that really shitty remake of Fantastic Four, him and Michael B. Jordan?
No, I never saw that.
He was one of those. I didn't see it either. He's one of those 2 guys. That's all I know.
So obviously he's a great actor. We can't say anything he's in.
Yes, on the A list.
Punching above his weight class.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I obviously like everybody's on A-Rod's side, but then I remember reading that thing where like he doesn't talk to his family anymore. And I'm like, I always struggle with that. Like, unless you got touched, like what, you can't fucking work it out. You're an adult.
I'm totally fine with him not speaking to his family. I am also fine with him telling the Packers to go fuck themselves.
I'm fine with him telling the Packers to go fuck himself, but blood is thicker than water, Ryan. You gotta, like I said, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers was diddled and that's what helped him throw a ball 70 yards down the field from his knees.
So much
fine.
anger.
Like, then I get it. But like, if it's just like your dad's a jerk, I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't get along with my dad. We work it out. You get older, you start to see some of their anger reveal itself in you.
Yeah, you hate the Eagles together.
You build bridges. Yeah, what are the things you like? What were your dreams? You know, my dad went to West Point and he's from Philly, so we talk a lot about Army football. I've learned a lot about the triple option.
Yep.
And I don't know if I would have learned about that otherwise, but now I know a lot about it because it's one of the things we can talk about.
Yeah, so Jeff Capel over there doing things.
Jeff Munkin,
that's right.
Who the fuck is Jeff Capel?
I don't know where that came from.
Jeff Munkin, baby, 8
years.
Jeff
Munkin. How do you feel about Navy, Eric?
Oh yeah, I don't get all that like that rivalry that they have,
vitriol?
Like the Army
nice.
Navy.
That's
yeah, my dad's always like, fucking Navy sucks. I'm like, you're all the same people. You're the same. like I grew up around Army dudes, and like I've since met Navy dudes. They're the literal same person. Same with
they just wear a different colored suit.
They wear different colored suit, and like I guess Army stands in a little bit of a straighter line, but it's like, I don't know, man. All their conversations, like my dad and all of his war buddies, the subtext of every conversation is like, I'm straight. So like when I talk to people that are in the Navy, it feels like the same thing. It's just like it's a type of person that we need to stand on the wall or guard the shores. I'm not gonna do it. I got plantar fasciitis. You know, I get cold really.
Ryan has flat feet. His feet suck. He's got
incredibly flat.
I got some flatties as well, man.
Yeah.
So like
gout.
Gout is not
brutal.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah,
my feet are not great.
Just push them around.
Yeah.
No, the point I was saying is like, look, from a football scheme, yeah, I mean, whatever, leave Green Bay, who gives a shit? But like from a personal sense, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with what kind of person leaves their family out to dry? I just don't get it. It's like you got to get over that shit. You got to your Miles Teller, whoever the fuck that is, will not care about you when you're not playing in the NFL anymore. Like that's what your family's for. And if you got a fucked up family, then yeah, that sucks. But I don't know. You got to find a way to make it work unless you were raped.
So along those lines, Eric, with that line of thinking, what or does he at all owe anything, Ryan, for you two, to the Packers? Anything at all?
Not a fucking thing.
That's a common one we get.
He has given them so many years of service. He was the loyal soldier who sat and waited for 3 years behind a corpse of Brett Favre. Come in, be a Pro Bowler, be an All-Pro, be a future Hall of Famer, win him a Super Bowl without any help, and then you get rid of all of his favorite dudes without asking him if it's okay. He can just tell him to go fuck right off and go finish his career somewhere else.
I like saying his years of service. He's getting paid millions of dollars and getting hot tubs, and you're like, thank you for your sacrifice. He's just a fucking rich football player. But sure, yeah. I don't think. Look, all those guys have such a small window to make their money, and they could get hurt at any point. So I always love. It's great when somebody, as an Eagles fan, I'll think of like someone like Brian Dawkins, or Deuce
great
Staley,
player.
or just like guys like that who like live and die with one team. Teddy Bruschi for the Patriots. Every team's got a guy like that spent their whole career there, or at least wanted to. And like, that's a beautiful thing when it happens, but I don't think a player is obligated for that. It's like, if somebody's like, I need to get mine now, or I'm trying to make it happen for me, I've only got a couple years to do this thing, or I want to go get a ring before I retire. It's like, yeah, go fucking do it, man. Like, good on the people that want to be loyal. I kind of view it like people who like, like some people need to have like weird, random hookup sex for their entire life and never have children. And some people want to marry the first person that gives them a hand job. Republicans. So like, whoever those people are, it's like good. I'm like, I don't judge it. I'm like, good. If that's what makes you happy, then like, that's what Teddy Bruschi is. He's like a hardcore president of the Young Republicans. Someone gives him a tugger underneath the bleachers during prom, and he's like, will you marry me?
Yep, and wife it up.
If that fills you with happiness, then fucking go for it. And if that said, if you're somebody that like, wears a dog collar and wants to eat out of somebody's bowl for a year, some part of some kinky sex agreement you've made, that's cool too. That's somebody that plays on 10 teams in 10 years. And I support all of it.
The Packers owe Aaron Rodgers more than Aaron Rodgers owes the Packers.
So I think we look at Aaron Rodgers, he's a beloved player, at least for a shit ton of people, whatever you personally feel about him. He's beyond cult hero. He's just a hero. And then to your point, Eric, you said that these guys, some of them have short windows. Aaron Rodgers is not one of them. His window is as big as a window for making money and winning championships gets. Despite him being beloved, I do have more sympathy for the person, that the running back, maybe a little bit more, maybe more diva-ish at times, but I have more sympathy for the running back, the guy who's got 5 good years for the best of them to make his cash, then gets fucking dicked out of his second contract because he's 27 years old and they only think he has 2 years left, than I do for Aaron Rodgers. Now, I mean, it's pretty clear, like Aaron Rodgers did a lot for the Packers. The Packers paid him what anyone in what society would have been mad if they didn't, based on what other people are making. But I mean, I don't really feel bad for him at all.
No, he has made enough money that's an inconsequential part of this puzzle right now. It is, he has devoted what his career has been thus far to that team, and they are not showing a whole lot of devotion to him. It's a principle thing.
Yeah, the one part of this is like the human element of this being like this could be, this is a form of betrayal, right? Just saying like, we think you're done. We think you're done. Clearly not, but we think you're done. So the human element, I get it, but like I guess in that respect, I do feel bad for him from a personal perspective, human perspective, but not anything else. Like this is, I don't feel anything for Aaron Rodgers outside of that small personal regard for like betrayal or whatever.
As the guy that talks about backups, there's a third person that needs to be part of this slide.
Yes, there is.
Blake Bortles, baby.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Let's go.
Suck a dick, NFL. Blake Bortles is going to start for the Green Bay Packers. I'm calling it. They're going 9-7. No, 9-8.
9-8.
9-8.
7-1.
And they're taking a wild card, baby.
Love it.
Blake Bortles with that throwing motion that starts at his ankles.
God,
Blake
that just
Bortles.
made me erect.
Oh my God. I read that story. It was like the Packers reporters being like, Jordan Love can't throw a crossing route.
Blake Bortles throwing rockets out there.
Blake Bortles throwing rockets. Dude, you know what? Like Blake Bortles, have you guys been following the Kwame Brown thing?
A little bit,
yeah.
It makes me so happy deep inside in a really, really like central part of my soul.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles is like the white Kwame Brown, where it's like it just gets this snowball effect where everybody's like, yeah, let's just joke about this guy sucking. It's like a running joke on that fucking what's that show with Kristen Bell where they're dead? I can't think of it now.
I think I know what you're talking about. Nothing.
Like
the Good Place.
The Good Place. It's like Blake Bortles is a good place. It's like that's how commonplace it is that he sucks. That like liberal writers who've never watched a football game in their life know who Blake Bortles is.
Yep.
And like the fact is he's the 35th best quarterback alive right now. And in the right system, he would look like the 20th best.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Fuck you, Blake Bortles, all over you. He's beating out Jordan Love. And I don't care where Aaron Rodgers goes. I just care that Blake Bortles starts opening week for the Green Bay Packers. That would be fucking sweet. And they would become my second favorite team for the next season in a heartbeat if they're starting him.
Eric,
Blake Bortles.
I don't mind if you don't mind, we would like, I feel like adopting that, in which I'm now going to be a huge proponent of Blake Bortles starting for the Green Bay Packers. I was originally on the train. I don't want John Elway to luck into another future Hall of Fame quarterback at the end of his career and extend his shitty general managing. But as whatever it takes to get Blake Bortles behind center in Green Bay.
Dude,
Blake Bortles has made $75 million in his career.
You'll add up his playoff wins while you're
doesn't he have two?
Glibly saying that. Yeah,
he has two. Who
doesn't have playoff wins that gets paid a lot more money? I think one of them was on the first slide here. Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles played great in that playoff run for the Jags.
He took the Jaguars to the AFC Championship game.
Who's a Steelers fan in here? They beat him 45-42.
It was bad. That was one of the worst Steeler games I've seen.
The whole thing was like the Jags defense is one of the best you've ever seen. And who took the Steelers
Blake
apart?
Bortles put 45 on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles, baby.
Yep.
This dude does not suck. It's just like a hack sports writer opinion to shit on him the same way it was for Kwame Brown back in the day. And I think
Brown made like $65 million.
Kwame Brown also was in the league for like 13 years and people call him a bust.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, Jamarcus Russell's a bust. Kwame Brown was a fucking NBA center for over a decade. Like, not a lot of people have careers like that.
Somehow he couldn't palm a basketball.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe it either. But at some point, it came out that Kwame Brown could not palm a basketball.
I feel like it's the same people that Eric's talking about.
Yes, it is. It's fucking Stephen A. Smith running like the hack train, making fun of.
Yeah, mind you, Eric, on this podcast, when we hate on players, it's at least fucking novel. We don't go with like the big writers out there. When we hate a player, it's new. It's brand spanking new.
Like Drew Lock, generally because his face is.
Don't say who it is. That's
stupid.
coming up, Ryan.
Listen, when I make fun of players, I at least try to acknowledge that they would beat the ever living shit out of me if it ever came down to it.
Yep.
Like that's what I don't like about these guys on TV is they act like they're big, tough dudes. And it's like Kwame Brown would
massacre you.
He would tear your skin off and turn your nipple into a lampshade. He's fucking he's 7 feet tall, 270 pounds. Watch your mouth. There's like an old school thing in me where I'm like, I don't believe this, but like, you know, like sometimes you have a thought where you're like, that's not a thing I really believe, but it's still kind of in there.
Oh yeah.
there's a part of me that's like, when someone's really big, if someone's way bigger than you, they should be allowed to kill you. like that was like a thought that I had. Like, if you could beat the shit out of somebody, who are they to like be like, you're fired? It'd be like, motherfucker, how about I throw you out the window and take your job? Because I could do that. So like, part of me thinks the Mountain from Game of Thrones should be president, but like, I temper that thought. I know it's not right, but like, yeah, I don't like these fucking non-athlete nerds feeling like they can go off on someone like Blake Bortles. I would root for Blake Bortles in a street fight any day of the week.
100%. I'm rooting for Blake Bortles in Green Bay.
Ryan, talk to us.
Yeah.
Julio Jones to the Titans. The Falcons got a 2nd-round pick next year, 4th-round pick in 23. The Titans got a 6th-rounder back from that. Oh, yeah, they got future Hall of Famer Julio Jones. His contract situation is why he is no longer in Atlanta. That and they stink, and he wants to win in the twilight of his career. In 21, he's making $15 million. 22, he's making $11.5. Could opt out. That's $2 million in dead cap for the Titans in 23. 11.5 as well. He will be 35. Julio Jones and I are relatively the same age.
You guys are very similar.
Very similar. We both of us tall, both of us 33. That's about it.
If you were in a police lineup, I wouldn't know what to do.
I know you'd be lost. You'd be a terrible.
You know who I could pick on a police lineman is fucking Shannon Sharp, because that dude is a dick and it's got it written on his fucking shirt.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until just now. Thank you for pointing that out. Shannon Sharp is an asshole for doing that to Julio Jones.
Yeah, that really was like a fucking shitty move. Did he like apologize for it or no?
I haven't heard any apology.
Yeah, I don't listen to anything. Like I heard Shannon Sharp's name on accident listening to something about Julio Jones, which is about how much I care about Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
About as much as I care about Stephen A. Smith and right around Max Kellerman and
There's only one show I watch that I like. I literally enjoy, that's sports talk. And it's the Speak for Yourself with Marcellus Wiley.
I like Marcellus Wiley.
Marcellus Wiley, and I like Emmanuel Ocho too. Like, I have a good, like, their show is like, they have a sports take, they shit on each other for 5 minutes, and then like barely mention the take, and I'm like, this is my type of sports show.
Emmanuel Ocho is smart as shit.
It's like you win the argument if you make fun of how tight Emmanuel Ocho's suits are.
They are exceptionally tight. Painted
like real. Like, if he does this, he's gonna style come out of it.
Yeah, those seams are screaming on Emmanuel Ocho's suit out of the University of Texas. Texas is back.
They're both
Texas is always back.
Both of those dudes are genuinely funny. They seem to like each other enough to be able to rip. Like, they make inside jokes about each other's family and dating life, and like. I remember I was watching one episode where Marcellus Wiley was like, this dude can't stop banging 40-year-olds. And I was like, is this a TV show anymore? So like, I really like that vibe. So that's the only show I watch. I think it's FS1. I just watch YouTube clips. Yeah. I'm like, this show rules. But like, yeah, First Take, all that other shit. It's like, it's fucking like, what's my opinion? Hang on. Let me check the wind.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
All right, you take that one, I'll take the other one, and then we'll fight about it.
Let's go. Television of sports. It's not sports. It's entertainment. If you like shit like the Kardashians and all that jazz, then you watch First Take. You watch Undisputed. It's the same like type of person that watches those things. Same people who listen to like political radio that are like way skewed one way or the other. It's like it's that same crowd.
Alex Jones is.
Speaking of, are we going to talk about Black Lives Matter at any point? I'd like to get into our.
Yeah, feelings. There's a slide for that, but if you just wait until then.
Julio Jones.
I would like to talk about these teams' uniforms for a second, because I love the Titans uniform. I love the Titans uniforms, but they have done something very shitty that I don't approve of.
Go on.
And that is
pause, everyone. Eric, do you see that man there in the picture? He's very important, and he will come up later. Cole, show your beautiful face. This is gonna play really well on audio.
Colt.
Hello.
Colt, show us your face and say hi to Eric.
Oh, the camera's not on. Excuse me, guys, and pardon me for being tardy here.
There you go.
You look just as handsome as you did an hour ago.
And
thanks.
you're at the right time. Eric was saying something he doesn't like, something the Titans have done to their uniforms. Go.
Okay. Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Colt. Are you the correct age to have if the character from the Three Ninjas had aged up in real life? Could it be?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I grew up with. I love that movie as a kid. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's a little conspiracy theory we can get going on the internet.
Okay, I like that.
Three Ninjas is a documentary, and you are the third ninja. I was
Yes.
gonna say that the lady that owns the Titans, it's like the daughter of the original owner, I guess.
Yeah.
Won't give the Oilers uniform back to Houston. The
Really?
Oilers have the sickest uniform ever.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's buried. The Titans have now their color scheme, they've got the darker blue. They're away from the Oilers. They don't look like the Oilers anymore.
They don't.
Meanwhile, the Texans have the ugliest goddamn uniform in the NFL.
It's so generic. It's the most generic
it really
uniform
is.
in
But
sports.
the fact that they could immediately go back to having the best uniforms, but this lady won't fucking give it. She read a quote where she was like, what does the Oilers logo have to do with Houston? That's ours. And I was like, that's like billionaire psycho talk.
I don't know if I want that uniform to go back to Houston in the state that the Texans currently are. It's like
They don't deserve it.
Yeah, it's like, some people won't know the
Disrespectful
name
to the
Great-
logo.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Jesus, look at Colt's arms. Holy shit.
Yeah, no,
That dude
he's
is so jacked. My God.
I know.
he's Shredsky.
Look at him. I mean,
He's
I can't
38
even.
years old.
Flex on you.
I didn't hear a word AJ said. I'm a straight man for now, but God damn. He's like a GQ shoot. Holy shit.
Unbelievable. He is
No, man.
strikingly
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but I got half a chub. You are looking good.
Eric, that's very
Thanks, buddy.
generous of
I'm
you.
flattered. I'm flattered.
Ryan and I are
Oh,
rocking
man.
with full chubs every episode.
Yeah, we don't half-ass things around here. Eric.
No, I think it's infuriating. Even if you just gave the color scheme back to Houston, they could keep, even if it was that dumb Texan thing, and
Yeah.
not the oil spigot, but just with the colors. With
Yeah.
the light baby
That
blue and
light
the red,
blue.
I'd be like,
Mhm.
dude, that is Houston football. It just sucks. I hate when people act like it's the team, it's the owner's thing and not the city's thing. Like it wasn't people in Houston for 35, 40 years loving the Oilers. They have nothing to do with that history and that team lineage. Fuck you. It always pisses me off about the Titans.
Not
And
to
then-
mention, they're the taxpayers that built the damn stadium. As
Exactly.
They are in
As
every city.
As they are in every city, except there's only one city that didn't do that. Do you know which city it is?
I don't.
It's New York.
Yep.
It's the only
John
city
Mara.
that funded their own stadium. Every single other place was like, no better schools in the inner city press boxes in the NFL stadium.
Press
Yeah,
boxes.
the mayor is built MetLife.
I want 18-inch hot dogs, not footlongs. So, Colt, we're going to talk about Julio Jones to the Titans right now.
Let's go. I love it.
Let's go, bud. What are your thoughts here?
I like this move a lot for Julio
of course.
personally. Fantasy, I think it's pretty damn good too. I think this actually takes a little pressure off AJ Brown from a coverage
Does it
standpoint.
drop the value at all?
Of AJ, I don't think so. I think AJ is going to be the 1A out of this scenario of 1B with Julio. And I think it's ultimately going to make AJ Brown a better player too, because that's his idol, basically, is Julio.
Tried to give him his number. Julio said, "Not good. I'll go back to 8 like I were in college."
Yeah,
Eric,
Julio's
you were
a cool dude, man.
If
you were
only,
talking about the Titans uniforms. Talk to me about the All Blacks in Atlanta.
dude, thank
Sweet.
you.
Sweet.
Just here's what every team should do. Just wear what you wore in 1992. It's not
Yeah.
that fucking hard. Just like the old Falcons, like the Deion Sanders all black, where they look like they kind of look. Did you ever see the the movie with Al Pacino, the football movie?
Any
where
given
he-
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah.
Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
They look
Willie
like the Sharks.
Beeman.
Willie Beeman. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just like it looks like it's based off the Falcons uniform, even like
Right.
kind of like the outline of the shark. That used to be the Falcon helmet. So
Yep.
like when they do that, Or if they just had that as their main uniform and then just threw it back where their retro uniform is actually what they wore in the 80s when they had the red uniform and the red helmet and played on grass. Dude, that should be what the Falcons do. I hate that thing where the color like changes halfway up.
Yeah, I don't like the fade.
It's like
I don't either.
The Jags used to do that on their helmet. It was
awful.
It looks ugly. It looks like a highlighter running out of color. I hate it.
Yeah.
And it's like for the Falcons, it sucks because there's so many of these teams where I'm like, man, if you just did that, if you just made it an actual retro late 80s, early 90s jersey for what you used to wear, you would immediately have the best jersey in the league.
I mean, don't give them too many ideas because they'll take ideas like, have you seen the Steelers Bumblebee outfits from like way back? It's atrocious.
It's
like I'm almost afraid to tell them to do anything different because it feels like it gets worse every time.
I mean,
the Steelers are so traditional too, you know?
Oh, it's so bad. If you haven't seen it, they look like bumblebees. It's just red and yellow the whole way up.
The Navy Packers with the yellow helmet with the number on them are rough.
And the tan pants.
Those are not good.
The khakis.
Let's talk Tampa Bay Buccaneers
creamsicle, baby.
I was waiting for somebody to bring it up. Thank you.
Why did I not think of this to be a slide?
Don't worry, I got them all right here.
Yeah.
Dude, bring back the creamsicle. The Eagles should be in Kelly green.
Yes.
Even something like the Giants uniform where they have like the weird, like the road jerseys, like all red. It's like, dude, what you wore in the Super Bowl was cool with just Giants, the word Giants on the side of your head.
Yep.
That looked fucking cool. There's so much, all the helmets that like didn't have any CTE protection had all the style.
Those were rad.
Yes. But it's like now they're all like safe helmets and they look like shit. Everybody looks like an XFL team or like it just, I don't know, man. Go back to what you used to wear 30 years ago. It's pretty much I can't think of a single team that wouldn't make their uniform better.
The Chargers in powder blue every week. Holy fuck.
Well, actually, hang on. That is the one team that their uniform now looks better than it looked in the 90s. That's the one.
Didn't for a long time though.
No, you don't think what they have right now. What the Chargers have now is a million times better than like
sweet.
The Junior Seau.
Yeah.
And it started last year, I think.
Yeah, the Chargers have some of the best uniforms in the league, and they have more uniform variations than they have fans.
Yep, that's sad.
I live out here. Nobody even like knows.
I was about to say, I think you could probably get tickets really cheap. You could be a really great Chargers fan just by showing up.
Dude, if you buy season tickets to the Chargers right now, I'm pretty sure
they pay you for them.
They let you get to play in the fourth quarter. Like they have no fan.
That explains why their special teams was so bad last year, because it was just like Billy from down the road that they found in the Whole Foods.
Oh my God, I love this.
I swipe with that guy
so much. I love this new slide so much, dude.
Yeah.
These are your future podcasts, subjects.
Yes. Yeah.
I know.
So let's talk about them.
Well,
Quarterback battles.
You better put Blake Bortles and Jordan Love on here, dude. Come on.
Absolutely. We're going Andy Dalton, Justin Fields in Chicago, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater in Denver, Cam Newton, and our sweet Prince McCorkle.
Sweet.
In New England. Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston in New Orleans, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance in San Francisco. We're going to add Jordan Love and Blake Bortles just because we can. What are our thoughts, gentlemen? I love Justin Fields in week 1. Teddy Bridgewater is going to beat out Drew Lock. Cam Newton's going to start week 1. Mac Jones will finish the season. And I think Jameis should be the starter the entire time in New Orleans. Jimmy Garoppolo should start the season. Trey Lance is probably going to finish it. And I say Blake Bortles in Green Bay.
I agree with all of those. And that's all.
Okay.
I'd like to apologize to Colt for me tooing him when he came on the show. I'm sorry, Colt. Not have commented on your body that way. I should release a Twitter statement. I regret my words. Yeah. Let's go. I'll go through these one by one and be all like, who's the more backup-y player? Because that's always I am a fucking underdog till the day I die.
100%.
So look, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. Come on, I love Justin Fields. I love the fact that like there wouldn't have been football in the Big Ten unless Justin Fields nutted up and told all those woke pussies we're gonna play.
Leadership.
So even with that said, and I think he's gonna be a great quarterback, Andy Dalton. He's got a nickname, a weak arm, and not a good win-loss record. I'm going Andy Dalton, baby. Andy Dalton, week 1. Then we got Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, didn't he like almost die from that non-contact injury or something, or they were going to cut off his leg?
It was real bad.
Yeah.
That dude's got a real underdog story to him. I don't even know who the fuck Drew Lock is. I've like heard his name.
Good. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm going Teddy Bridgewater there. 8-8 Broncos. Let's do this. Now, this is interesting. You guys are, nobody likes the Panthers, but you're in North Carolina. Cam Newton, I feel like has gotten his underdog bona fides back.
Yes.
All right.
100%.
Like the dude has been humbled. Everybody's hating on him. They're like, this guy's old. He can't stay healthy. And he threw like 8 touchdowns last year, starting 10 games. He plays like that. He plays like a football player in the 1940s where like every time they throw a touchdown, their announcer goes like, oh my God, they've done it with a forward pass.
Yeah, he plays like Chris Evans. He plays like Chris Evans, Captain America played in 1940.
Yes, exactly. So I fucking love that. And I think it's so out of the box. And I want to see him work with Belichick. So I'll go Cam Newton week 1. Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. I mean, I don't know. This just feels like Taysom Hill just feels like a gadget player.
Mm-hmm.
And Jameis Winston, pretty credible rape allegation. Not a big fan of it. That bothered me. Also, you remember that thing where there was a video of him doing the win where he's like, you know what we need today?
Eating the W.
A W.
Yeah. Some
when he
weird
did that,
shit,
I was like,
dude.
I hope this dude never plays again. He seems like an idiot. So I'm going to go. I mean, look, here's the thing. I also hope that people can grow and get past immaturity. And maybe he's done that. Maybe sitting for a year helped him. But, fuck him. Taysom Hill, unless Taysom Hill gets a rape allegation in the next 3 months, I'm going to go with Taysom Hill there. And then Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance. This one is tough.
Yeah.
Because both of these guys have very likable things about them, all right? Trey Lance, anytime somebody comes from a North Dakota State or like the Citadel into the NFL, I'm always like, it's fun to see like guys make the NFL when the people they're playing against in college look like me. Like if I was the cornerback, Trey Lance, like, ooh, the receiver got open. It's like, you should.
Out there running 4.8 40s.
So something I like about Trey Lance, he's from a small school, not even Division I or Division I AA. So like there's a mystery there. He only started 20 games too, so it's not even like he played that much. So that is very intriguing. But then Jimmy Garoppolo was like banging a porn star. He also kind of has a little bit of that Aaron Rodgers had to sit for years when clearly the coaching staff wanted him in.
Yep.
But, I mean, his situation is different because Tom Brady still had a lot of years left and Brett Favre didn't. But I can at least empathize with what Garoppolo went through. And then all the injuries and stuff. And the fact that the team is whatever they are, 15-4 when he starts and 0-30 when he's injured.
Went to the Super Bowl.
I got to go Jimmy Garoppolo here because he feels a little more backup-y, and that's always the feel.
And because he's handsome as shit.
And just for anybody that's thinking about listening to my podcast, any of your listeners, this is always the level of analysis I'll go to.
Yeah.
And if
it
I
feels like a backup.
If it was really a tie, I would go to like their college teams and compare their mascots. And I'd be like, okay, the Bison's kind of cool. I don't even know. Where did Jimmy
Eastern
Garoppolo go?
Illinois. Not sure what their mascot is.
I think they're the Wolf Pack. I think
they're the fighting Tony Romo.
They're either the Wildcats or the Wolf Pack or the Tigers.
Yeah, I'll go. So, that's mine. Dalton, Bridgewater, Newton, Hill, Garoppolo.
What about
Love
Love
that
Bortles?
And a
love
Bortles.
Bortles.
It's
Bortles.
It's
Bortles all
Bortles.
day.
Okay. That's what I thought. Just
I shouldn't have to say that.
Yeah. We're a big Blake Bortles podcast as well.
Hell yeah.
Well, we now are. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're thinking of, but we now are
Right.
embracing it fully.
I'm going to go against the grain a little bit with you guys here. I'm going to say Dalton starts week 1, as much as I don't want to see it, based on the fact that the coaching staff's going to cover their ass, because they announced Dalton would be starting when they signed him, not knowing they'd get Justin Fields in the draft. So I think they'll give him that one at least as just an attaboy, like get in there.
Go get you a series.
Yeah, get him a couple pats on the ass. Yeah. He'd be the starter. I think Teddy B is going to beat out our little wonder boy, Drew Lock here.
Big Dick Bridgewater.
Yeah, it's gunslinger versus super conservative, doesn't like to throw in tight coverage. I'd rather see Teddy B. Teddy two-glove beaming Bridgewater.
All right.
How do you not go with a guy with a glove on his throwing hand? He's like Michael Jackson with the follow through.
Exactly.
Two gloves, Teddy.
Yeah. I'm going to say Cam probably does start week 1, 2 at least. I think Mac Jones does finish the season. I feel like the situation in New Orleans is going to be both of them, because I think Sean Payton loves Taysom Hill so freaking much. Like, he just can't keep his hands off of him in the playbook. He's just like, oh, I'm going to design these for Taysom. And yeah, it's going to be great.
He's
Look
like
at my
the coach's kid in
Yeah,
Little
he
League.
feels like the
Got to
coach's
play
kid.
second base, even though he sucks.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a little bit of both of them. They'll bring Taysom in on certain goal line packages or short yardage. And, Peyton's going to get creative and cute, and Jameis is going to sling it deep all over the place. That's going to be great. I wish there was some clarity, but I think it's probably going to be a little bit of both. Therefore, I'm probably going to stay away from them in fantasy. And I am kind of on the side that Trey Lance may open things up because of the draft capital. And I think Shanahan just wants to get him out there and get him in it. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I would hope to see.
And
He can
Blake
do
Bortles.
lots of stuff
And
that
Blake
Jimmy
Bortles.
G can't.
And Blake Bortles, enough said. Yeah.
And Blake Bortles.
What current NFL quarterback has the most punchable, stupidest face? There is a correct answer to this, and I'm not sure that it's awfully close, though some recent draft picks are in the running for top 5.
Eric,
I'm not fucking going first.
we all know the answer.
I'm not trying to get my ass kicked by Carson Wentz.
That's not bad. That's
He's in
very
the top
silly of
5.
you.
In the top 5 most punchable faces.
Eric, may we present Drew Lock, frat boy at large,
What a
professional twerp.
Twerp.
You know who he looks like? He looks like Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
Yes, he does.
Kind of.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good
Doesn't
comp.
he?
Yeah.
Yes,
just
that's
has
the
this-
general cycle there is you see his
Yeah.
face and you punch it, and then you see it again. Actually, no hard feelings. To your point, Eric, no hard feelings. Drew, it's all in good fun. I wrote "We love you." I don't know if that's true.
Everything I've been reading about their current state of mandatory minicamp, he has not had a great go so far.
Yeah,
which
I've
is
also
very much like the rest of his career.
Yikes. So those are our feelings on Drew Lock. We have another question for you,
Talk
Eric.
about a team that needs to go back to their old jerseys, the fucking Broncos. I get
Yeah.
it. You won a Super Bowl, but come on, dude. Light blue and bright orange.
I love that light blue helmet.
Oh, yeah. With the Bronco like peeking out of it like it's a
Yeah.
little stage prop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's Chris Hansen.
It does nothing in his face.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a seat right over there?
That's very funny.
Who is the most beautiful and beautifully named NFL quarterback? Once again,
If it's not Blake Bortles, I'm gonna kill myself.
no. We're an anti-suicide podcast.
Sorry.
And a pro Blake Bortles podcast. However,
Yes.
Who is the most beautiful and beautifully named NFL quarterback? Well, I mean, Is there a hint? Can I get a hint? Since you guys all know the answer.
So Drew Lock, he's been on the slides previous. So has this gentleman, and you've seen his picture since you've been on that as well.
I've seen his picture.
Very brief.
I don't know. Just fucking show me.
It's McCorkle Jones.
It's McCorkle. Eric, this is his real name.
Michael McCorkle?
His name is Michael McCorkle Jones. Mac comes from his middle name, and they named him McCorkle.
Got it. I actually think the real answer is Jalen Hurts.
I
just like
that.
the name. I just like the name Hurts, man. That's a good.
That's a great football name.
I mean, it'd be better if he was a linebacker, but I kind of like that he's a quarterback and his last name Hurts.
Yeah, last name
it's strong.
Slaughter, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember there was a guy. I can't remember his last name, but there was a dude that was going to play at Notre Dame. His name was like Gunner McTouchdown or something. But he had like any quarterback with the name Gunner.
Oh yeah,
I feel like has like a real shot for like the best name in the league. You know,
Phillip Rivers' eldest son, Gunner Rivers.
Gunner Rivers. Yeah, if there was a kicker named like Leg Johnson.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Put him in the
Two
hall.
G's.
The Pittsburgh Panthers, and he's now in the NFL, have a kicker named Chris Blewett. I don't know if you've seen Chris.
Yep.
Chris
Blewett.
And every time he misses a kick, they play the clip of De Niro and Copland being like, "You blew it!
You blew it!
You blew it!" I just rewatched Copland 3 days ago, by the way. It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
So good.
I have not watched that incredible piece of film.
I've never seen it either.
Dude,
is Stallone in there too?
Stallone's in it, and it's like
Okay.
it's one of his only like straight dramatic roles. Like he's not playing an action hero at all.
Okay.
Like he gained a bunch of weight for it. And I listened to him in an interview to say how it kind of destroyed his career. He was like, "It's one of my favorite movies I've ever made. It's a really fucking good movie." But when people saw it, they were like, I guess it didn't do that well in the box office. And they were like, "Oh, his career's over. He's not an action star anymore." And he didn't really work after Copland. But his performance is really good. It's got like De Niro in it, Harvey Keitel. It's got a sick cat. Peter Berg's in it.
I'd watch that.
It's a good fucking flick, man.
I love Harvey Keitel all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are our words here? Ham and cheese. Does that say a fragrant dick? A fragrance by Dior.
By Dior.
Yeah, so
blends into his crotch.
Eric, you were
region.
talking earlier about people that don't look like they play football, or people in small schools who get drafted end up playing with guys that look like this. This is who Trey Lance threw to. This is who kicked his field goals. This is who blocked for him and who sacked the opposing quarterback whenever he wasn't out of breath.
This guy's got real Tom Brady bod.
Very much so. He's in the perfect spot in New England.
Yeah, but he's like 22.
But that's the whole thing with Brady is Brady looks better now at 45 than he did when he was 23 years old.
I hope Mac Jones, I hope our beloved McCorkle does not ever like tighten up at all. I want him to finish his career looking the exact same.
Just stay soft.
Yeah.
Stay fluffy.
I did Alex Van Pelt on my podcast, and
listen to that one.
He was a heavy dude his whole time playing.
Have you done Jared Lorenzen yet?
No, he's dead. He's dead.
R.I.P.
I feel like enough time hasn't passed from his drug overdose for me to make fun of his career.
Fair point.
I had a friend that I was like, you're gonna come on the show and we're gonna do a bit where you play the ghost of Jared Lorenzen. And my friend goes, "I'm not going to do that." And I was like, "Come on, man, it's a comedy." He goes, "This is what's going to happen. You're going to put out the podcast. It's going to be hilarious. And I'm going to get a direct message from like Jared Lorenzen's sister that just says, 'I love Jared and I miss him every day.' And then I'm not going to be able to sleep for 3 weeks."
Yeah.
And I was like, and then when he said that, I was like, oh, fuck. I think that's like the one thing that like I don't want to fuck with on my pod is like dudes that just died. I found out, dude, I did Eric Kramer on my podcast, And I found out during the podcast that he tried to kill him. He like shot himself in the head.
Oh my god!
And then his son died. And then a woman in 2018 like Me Too'd him and took all of his money. And then he got un-Me Too'd because the woman ended up like was abusing him and like stealing his money, and they found evidence of it. And now his ex-wife is in jail for elder abuse.
Oh shit.
And I literally I was like, oh, Eric Kramer, blah, 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 get to his Wikipedia page, start reading it. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is the most depressing shit I've ever read in my life. And it's all in the podcast. It's me discovering that he was the worst possible person to do a podcast on, that there's nothing funny. At least there is something funny. Like, you can find funny stuff in anything. But no, it's a little funny because like I'm watching like interviews with him. I'm like, he shot himself in the head, and 2 years later he's doing an interview. I'm like, where's the how he looks all right. So like he doesn't look messed up or anything, but he clearly had like a really rough post backup career. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I got to be careful with that stuff on the pod. But that said, if I give it a couple years and Jared Lorenzen's family gives me the okay.
Yeah, the hefty lefty.
Just table it.
He would be so perfect. He was a big, fat quarterback.
Super Bowl champion, Jared Lorenzen.
Yeah, I like anybody that plays in like the Power 5 on the shitty Power 5 teams, like a Kansas quarterback, a Kentucky quarterback, a Vanderbilt quarterback. Like, who doesn't root for whenever you look at those guys, I look at those guys on my podcast and I'm like, they still like won 3 games a year in college. Like even when they had NFL talent quarterbacks, like Vanderbilt had Jay Cutler. They still sucked the whole time he was there. They never won more than 5 games.
That was
Jay Cutler guy.
Peak Vanderbilt.
Peak Vanderbilt, man.
Yep, Jay Cutler from Santa Claus, Indiana.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
There's only one way that any of those lower Power 5 teams in the SEC and the ACC are ever gonna make the jump, and it's if they hire Jeff Munkin from Army to run the option. That's the only way.
The only way they can get the athletes to compete is don't get the athletes and run the option.
Yeah, running the option in college is basically being like, how do we not play football for 60 minutes?
SEC fans would love that. All of the scores would be like 7-3.
Dude, it would be like I hear like every time they want to hire any of the option coaches from the service academies, because they've all done well. All 3, Army, Navy, Air Force, have done well. Mm-hmm. The boosters are always like, people will hate it, like they complain and they don't get the job. But it's like, I find it fascinating to watch that. And like, especially when now it's all passing. It's like, that's every team runs the same fucking offense. To have one team that's like 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, go for it on 4th down. And like their drives literally take up an entire quarter.
Yep.
There's something so fascinating about watching that. It's so against the grain. It's like
Army took Oklahoma to overtime.
Dude,
2 years ago.
And they took Michigan to double overtime.
Yeah, that was Oklahoma to overtime with Kyler Murray, I believe, or was that Baker Mayfield's Heisman?
No, it was Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I was on the sideline for that game. It was brutal.
I can't imagine that's the most brutal like live game if you're down that close to watch.
Tulsa and Arkansas later that year was not good.
Rough around the edges.
What is were you there for this podcast?
No. I was a sports anchor in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, Golden Hurricane. What does that even mean?
Sir.
What does the Golden Hurricane even mean?
I feel like something about showers and urine.
Tulsa had a good season last year, though, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Zayvon Collins is a monster. It is now time for the pronunciation game. It all originated from AJ's roommate named Bevan. He can't say any of these. And we hope that you can't say any of them either. But we're going to let you try.
I'm going to go through all of these.
Yes, you are. We're going to start with the first one. Clemson's quarterback, future probably number 1 overall draft pick.
You guys are really trying to make sure there's a podcast to get me in trouble if I get any career success, huh?
Yep. Yeah, we're going to file this one away, bud.
DJ Uigalele?
That's very close to what Evan said.
Yeah. Evan calls him, what is it, Ryan?
Agunglier.
Agunglier.
Yeah. The actual pronunciation of his name is Uiagalelei.
Uiagalelei.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
My wife's got a Galalis in her last name, or that is her last name. So I got a little bit of that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the multiple L's.
Yeah. And then this is a Tano Pasan.
Capassignon. Like filet mignon.
How'd I go on Tano though?
Tano is perfect.
Top shelf. That was beautiful.
Where's he at right now?
That is the edge rusher defensive end down in the Bayou currently, formerly of Kansas City, of Chiefs fame.
All right. Albert. Okwebanam.
Hey,
Okwegbanam.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Real well.
Yeah. Right.
Albert's just Albert.
There's no way this next one is O'Shane.
It is.
It is. In fact.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
O'Shane Zemines.
Ximenez.
It's a good try.
Ximenez.
It's Ximenez?
And that's a New York Giant edge rusher from a school I'm not sure of.
Well, I see one of these that I'm gonna nail.
I figured. What is it? 2 down there.
You give me a layup. Noah in Igbinu Henny.
Nope.
I like the effort. I
The
really
effort
do.
was strong.
I do too.
What is it?
Igbenogany.
Igbenogany.
A
That's a
cornerback for the
cornerback
Dolphins.
for the Miami
Is that fun?
Dolphins, indeed.
These are really deceptive.
Gunnar Oswelski.
Close. Gunnar Olszewski. Like Mike
Olszewski.
Krzyzewski.
Olszewski.
Olszewski.
What's Gunnar? Where's Gunnar at?
New England Patriots punt returner.
All right. Ken Montalolo.
There you go.
Nailed that one.
That one, yeah.
That was your layup.
That's my layup.
Okay.
David Agwobu.
Agwegbu.
Okay.
Linebacker at Oklahoma.
All right.
Okay, pause here, Eric. Ryan.
So if you go to this gentleman's Wikipedia page and look up his birth certificate God-given Hawaiian name, they are still finishing the birth certificate. It is about 45 characters long with more syllables than I care to try to pronounce at one time. So he makes it easy on all of us. He goes by Kaimi.
Yeah, Kaimi Fairbairn,
yes.
Fairbairn.
If you get a spare moment, go to his Wikipedia page. It is an incredible name.
There we go.
As most true Hawaiian names truly are.
Niamantaolo.
Lolo.
He's also Hawaiian too.
Yes, I have not looked up his full given Hawaiian name yet.
Coaching in Hawaii would be a lot of fun, it feels.
Yeah, it would. Rainbow Warriors, their stadium looks like a pineapple.
They got to get a new stadium, though. That thing's falling apart. It's all rusty and weird.
It is super old. Congratulations. Tonight's episode winner of the McCorkle Award is our illustrious guest, Erick Hellwig.
Well, Ryan,
we all
fucking clap, please.
Bravo, Eric.
Well done, Eric. This wasn't
Last week's winner was Callum Ratcliffe, another
really close
Eagles
this week.
fan that we have in our pod from Europe, from the UK. Eric, congratulations, and thank you so much.
Sincerely,
for
Eric,
joining
thank
us
you
tonight.
so much for being on here. We appreciate
Very
it.
much
Absolute
appreciate your
fucking
time.
pleasure.
Please
Eric,
plug all of your shit.
Yeah, plug
once
some
more.
shit.
So, easiest way to check out my podcast or follow my social media is to just go on my website, which is erickhellwig.com. Eric is ERICK, Hellwig, HELLWIG. I got a podcast going right now. You guys might be interested to know this. I booked the North Carolina Comedy Festival in September.
Fun.
Rough dates
Interesting.
now are September 9th and 11th. That's going to be in Greensboro is where those shows are.
Hell
About an
yeah.
hour from us.
Anytime I go out of state for stand-up, I always book 6 or 7 local shows all around the area. So when I'm in North Carolina in September, you guys got to come out and see a show.
We'll show you some support. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for your listeners, my podcast, it's bringing the backups. It's I advertise it like it's a really like heavy on sports, and it totally isn't. It's a comedy podcast with a little bit of sports thrown in. I like to say it's accessible if you're not a huge sports fan, but why the fuck am I selling it to non-sports fans? Obviously, everybody listening to this now is a sports fan. So just listen to my goddamn podcast. It's called Bringing the Backups. It's everywhere you'll find it.
That's how we market, Eric, is like
Yeah.
threats.
Love it. Yep.
Yeah. If you don't listen to my podcast, fuck you.
Yeah.
No fear.
fuck yeah.
This podcast
I like-
a confirmed good time.
What was the before we go to this last thing, what was the when you said my biography, is that something I said or something you made up that I
That's
said?
something you said, bud.
That's hilarious. I should I need to remember what I say when it's that funny. It was my autobiography should be, what was it? Like, I don't read, I'm gaining weight and people are sheep.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are sheep.
I hate I missed that, man. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the beginning.
That's fuck. Sometimes you hear yourself back and you're like, that's fucking great. I didn't even realize I said that. That's awesome.
Nope.
Thank you for pointing that out to me.
Eric, thank you, buddy. It's been a blast to have you on. Thanks to all you guys for listening to the Shall We Football podcast. Please subscribe to our beautiful baby podcast on any and all platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. Every episode of the Shall We Football podcast also available in video format on YouTube. So like, subscribe, and press the notification bell for alerts every time we upload. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. That is at SWF_podcast. Once again, that's at SWF_podcast. Eric, thanks so much, and good night.
Good night, guys. Thanks for having me.